Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rob Ashton. I am the Global Market Manager for Infineum Marine Fuel Additives. Today, I'm speaking to Dr. Robert Ray, who is leading Infineum's asphaltene management project for marine fuels. I believe that you're not particularly supportive of the separability number test, which measures the reserve stability number. Can you explain why that is?
Yes, I could talk at some length about this test, but I think if I was just to get to the crux of my issue with it, it would be that what the test reports doesn't actually really relate to what is experienced on board. We've seen data sets where the entire spectrum of RSN is covered, but there's been no reported issues with any of the fuels. So the higher scoring fuels, which are meant to be the ones that are maybe problematic from a flocculation point of view, it doesn't mean that there were issues on board with the fuels in question. Beyond that, we've also looked at fuels internally, where we know from experience that the RSN score is very good. But actually, if you look at the fuel underneath the microscope, it's already flocculated, which is contrary to what the RSN method is telling you.
So moving on to some of the new test methodologies that you've been looking at, one of them is the alpha Laval spin test. And that looks to be quite promising. So how do you think that this test can be utilized to benefit the quality of very low sulfur fuel oil?
Well, this test method is used by alpha Laval to ultimately predict what will happen to a fuel at the separator on board. So that is to say, it will give them an indication of the volume of sludge that's coming out of the fuel, and they can use that to predict whether or not that would be problematic. Now, one of the good things about that test is there's no interference with the fuel itself. So that is to say that we're not heating it at very high temperatures that it wouldn't normally be experienced on board to age it, or equally, we're not putting any chemicals in there to interfere with the fuel at all. We're literally just running the fuel as it would be on board in a centrifugation process. And because this test ultimately gives an indication of operability, we believe that it could be supporting other methods in the industry like the TSP.
Okay, Robert, thanks very much for taking us through that insight into the work that you've been doing on Infineum asphaltene management and an overview of the testing requirements therein. So thanks very much.
Thank you very much.